All right, folks, we have breaking news out of Ohio. After just under 3 hours of deliberations, the jury has reached a verdict in the drowned wife murder trial of Paul Hicks. Now, he faces life in prison if convicted of killing his estranged wife, Regina, whose body was found 4 days later inside her car, which was submerged in a pond almost 25 years ago. I think the jury is in. I want to take you into that courtroom now.
4 counts?
Yes.
And have they each signed each of those verdicts, all 12 members?
Yes.
And have you filled in guilty or not guilty in each of the verdict forms?
I believe so, yes.
All right, I'm going to ask if you will turn those over to the bailiff. Give me a moment to review them. Very good. This time then, the court would read the verdict forms for purposes of the record. In the state of Ohio versus Paul Hicks, 2025-0284. On the indictment for count 1, being murder, the jury finds the defendant guilty of murder and unclassified felony. It's dated December 19th, 2025, and does appear to be signed by all 12 members of the jury. Would you like the jury polled on this?
Your Honor, I will wait for the rest of the members away.
All right, very good. As far as count 2 then, the jury finds the defendant, Paul Hicks, guilty of murder and unclassified felony, which was the proximate result of the defendant committing kidnapping, which is a felony of the first degree. Again, that's dated December 19th, 2025, and appears to be signed by all 12 members of the jury. As far as count 3, on the charge of murder, the jury finds the defendant, Paul Hicks, guilty of murder and unclassified felony, which was the proximate result of the defendant committing felonious assault, which is a felony of the second degree. That's dated December 19th, 2025, and is signed by all 12 members of the jury. And finally, on count 4, kidnapping, the jury finds the defendant, Paul Hicks, guilty of kidnapping, felony of the first degree. That's also dated December 19th, 2025, and signed by all 12 members of the jury. At this time, then, will the jury poll?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then, at this point, I don't know if I have my jury sheet. All right, we'll go by front row first and then work to the back. So I'm going to ask first, and I gave my sheet away with your names, and I have not memorized it. Juror number 1, is that your true and correct verdict?
It is.
And juror number 2?
It is.
And juror number 3?
Yes.
And juror number 4?
Yes.
Juror number 5?
Yes.
Juror number 6?
Yes.
Juror number 7? In the back, juror number 8?
Yes.
Juror number 9?
Yes.
Juror number 10?
Yes.
Juror number 11?
Yes.
And juror number 12.
Yes.
All right, so all 12 members of the jury have confirmed that those are their findings and verdicts as presented to the court. I do want to thank you all for a long 2 weeks of service. Certainly you gave this matter a lot of consideration, and I'm going to ask if any of you have the ability to stick around for a short period of time. Traditionally, it's an opportunity for the court to have an opportunity to speak with you. We'd like to find out what your experiences are like here, what we might be able to do better or different as we go forward with future juries. Sometimes the attorneys would also like the opportunity to speak with you. You don't have to stick around. You've given us an awful lot of your time. You can take off whenever you would like, but if you can't stick around for a few moments, I would appreciate it. As far as the attorneys, I'm going to speak with you first, and then if you want to have a chance to speak with the attorneys, we can let them know. Is there anything further than from the, well, I should say, we did discuss the potential for a sentencing date. The sentencing date would be set for January 9th, 2026 at 1 o'clock. Anything further from the parties before we let the jury retire?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Thank you again, folks. I'll be back with you shortly.
There's one thing.
We'll take a moment. All right. Outside the presence of the jury, anything in front of the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, last April you set a $2 million bond on the defendant. He hasn't been able to make it. Now that he's been found guilty of murder plus kidnapping, he's facing a sentence in prison of life with the possibility of parole. After 26 years, we would ask his bond be revoked.
All right. And defense?
Objection, Your Honor. Noted for the record.
All right. The court will revoke bond given the sentencing options that are available to the court. All right, very good. I'm going to take a moment. If they want to speak with attorneys, I'll come back and let you know.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, this one.
Sorry.
The court reporter has reminded me that the parties have agreed they would be willing to substitute photos for purposes of the record as to the physical exhibit.
All right, so justice delayed, not justice denied for the family and supporters of Regina Hicks, the victim in this case. Again, you heard the jury. They found him guilty on all counts, including murder, 2 counts of felony murder that included kidnapping, as well as felonious assault, as well as a 4th count of kidnapping. And as you could see, it was an incredible shot. In one instance, we saw the defendant throw his head back as he heard the guilty verdict. Meanwhile, supporters, obviously supporters of Regina Hicks in the gallery, throwing their hands up, fist pumping, happy after 25 or so years, finally getting justice.